recipes.
Hey guys, welcome to Cookbook Club. I'm Hannah. Today we're going to be talking about Leanne Brown's cookbook, Good and Cheap. Good and Cheap is a really interesting cookbook. The premise is that all the recipes can be made for as little as $4 a day. The reason for this, small number is in the United States, the average food stamp amount per person is only $4 a day. So Brown, during her master's at NYU, created this cookbook in order to provide healthy, delicious recipes that can be made on a very small budget. So the cookbook is full color. It's also available for free on her website. You can also check it out on the Ann Arbor District Library's website or on Libby and Overdrive. So Brown, throughout the book, gives different tips, ideas, and recipes in order to stretch your dollar. Some of the tips that I thought were really great. Brown recommends that you buy foods that can be used in multiple meals. For example, cabbage. One cabbage, you could probably stretch over 3 or 4 meals, and a cabbage is only a few bucks. You want to think seasonally. So ingredients are always more expensive when they're out of season. So especially now in the summer, you can find produce for fairly cheap in season, and that's usually the produce that you see going on sale at the market. And Brown also recommends, if you're really trying to stretch your dollar at the grocery store, don't buy drinks. Drinks are really not necessary, and they can add up really quickly. For example, I went to the grocery store this week, and I realized when I got home I'd spent probably $15 easily on just different kinds of drinks. And that's fine if you have the money to spend, but if you're trying to stretch your budget, you can cut that out. And if you need a treat, have coffee, tea, maybe a smoothie. So I'm really excited to share this cookbook with you. Today we're going to be making 2 recipes. Cold and spicy Asian noodles and a beet and chickpea salad. Spoiler warning, we kind of transformed the beet and chickpea salad into something else, but you'll have to stay tuned to find out what. We're going to make the second recipe today. So this is Leanne Brown's Cold and Spicy Asian Noodles. It's a very simple recipe, easy to throw together with affordable ingredients. So let's go ahead and talk about the ingredients. For this recipe, I'm going to use soba noodles. Brown mentions a few other kinds of noodles that you can substitute, but I think soba noodles will be the best. I bought them at my local Asian grocery store, but you can usually find it in most bigger stores, Kroger, Meijer. So these will be really good. I did 2 bundles. You can do more if you're making a bigger serving. We're also going to use cucumber. Brown calls for 1 large cucumber. I have the mini cucumbers, so I'm going to be using 3. Some green onions. And for spice, I'm going to be using jalapeno. And then most importantly, you're going to want some soy sauce. This is tamari, which is a gluten-free variety, but any soy sauce that you like will do the job. What's cool about this recipe is that Brown mentioned that you can really make it your own and do any add-ons that you think might be yummy. So you could do a hard-boiled egg, you could do shredded cabbage, you could do shredded carrot. Anything that you have in your fridge you can throw in. Something that she mentioned that I might experiment with, she mentioned you could put in peanut sauce. I don't have peanut sauce, but I have tahini. So let's see how the finished product turns out. Maybe I'll add some tahini to mine. So anyway, those are the ingredients. So let's get cooking. So step 1 is to prepare your soba noodles according to the directions. Some soba noodles might be pre-cooked. Mine have to be boiled. You want to rinse with cold water. And now we're going to chop the veggies. So, our noodles are cooked. And now we just gotta throw it together. Okay, so Brown calls for 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm gonna taste this after it's mixed and see if I want to add more. And you know what? I decided let's just go for it. I'm gonna throw in some tahini. You know, tahini is just sesame paste. So, you know, this would be good with a nut sauce, a peanut sauce. Since I don't have that, I'm gonna use tahini. It will work. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons. And what would also be great, though it is a more expensive ingredient, is sesame oil. I don't have sesame oil, but if you happen to have that in your pantry, that would be delicious in this. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss this. Look how beautiful and green this is. Lovely. I decided to add a touch of lime juice to bring a little bit of acidity. I think this will be really nice balance with the tahini. All right, so our salad's mixed. You're gonna wanna put this in the refrigerator for at least an hour to let the flavors blend together and to let it get nice and cold. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in the fridge. Alright, so our cold and spicy Asian noodles ready to eat. This is a perfect dish for a hot summer's day. You know, a little bit of spice can cool you down as well. And it was super easy to make. I would say if you're quick enough at chopping, you could get it ready. Under 10 minutes, just pop it in the fridge and dinner is ready to go. So definitely recommend this recipe. You know, make it your own based on what you have in your fridge. But I hope you give it a try and you enjoy. So we're gonna start with Brown's beet and chickpea recipe. This is a super easy salad that should only take about 15-20 minutes to whip up. No cooking involved, so it's perfect on those hot summer days. So we'll start and talk about the ingredients. First, you'll need 3 beets. So I'm using candy cane beets. I had a few left over from my last video, but you can just use ordinary red beets. You can find those at Kroger, Meijer, any you know, major grocery store would have beets. You'll need a can of chickpeas. If you made chickpeas from dried, that's even better, but just one can will do the job in a pinch. You'll need 3 tablespoons of peanuts. Unfortunately, I didn't quite have 3 tablespoons, so I did half and half. Peanuts and almonds. The almonds would give it that same sort of crunch, so I think it's gonna be fine. I was laughing because I feel like every time I do one of these videos, I don't always follow the recipe, but that's what cooking in a pandemic is about. Just, you know, using what you have. And you know, that's also budget cooking, you know, minimizing those grocery store trips. For the dressing, you'll need chili sauce. So I'm using a very popular brand here. Olive oil. This is just grocery store olive oil, super affordable, and some lime juice. And then of course salt and pepper to taste. So those are the ingredients. Let's go ahead and whip this up. I'm getting hungry. Okay, so the first step is to go ahead and peel your beets. So our beets are peeled. The next step is to go ahead and grate them with a box grater. If you don't have a box grater, you could use a knife to cut them into very thin match sticks, but obviously the box grater is the easier option. So we're gonna do that. So the beets are grated. Next, you're just gonna want to open your garbanzo beans and drain them out. So go ahead and throw these in with the beets. Go ahead and throw in your 3 tablespoons of nuts. And now we're gonna make the sauce. Cut. So your dressing is going to be 1 tablespoon of olive oil. 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Sometimes you really gotta squeeze them. It's fine. Cooking is not a science, it's an art. So if you mess up a little bit, it's not a big deal. As long as it still tastes good, that's what matters. And then 1 teaspoon of the chili sauce. You can always add more if that's what your taste is. And then just salt and pepper to taste. Now the most important step is to make sure you taste it. Here, I'm gonna use the teaspoon to get a better taste. It's very good. You want to adjust this based on your taste. So if you want it a little bit spicier, add more chili sauce. All right, so your salad is ready to combine with the sauce. Go ahead and get it all tossed up. So we finished the beet and chickpea salad. As far as the end product is concerned, I have to say I haven't made this recipe before, and there are a few things that I would change in hindsight. The shredded beets kind of have a goopy texture. I would kind of recommend either pressing out the water after you grate them, or cutting it into matchsticks with a knife so it retains some of the crisp qualities you look for in a salad. You know, as it stands, it's kind of closer to a slaw than a salad. And, you know, there's only so much slaw I can eat. So yeah, there's just a few things I would play around with. Okay guys, I gotta be real with you. That salad was not good. But you know, I don't want to waste food. So we found a way to make it work.
Bam!
So we added flour and eggs and decided to make fritters. And as you can imagine, fried food, salt, it's good. So, you know, here's to show you, if you make something and it doesn't work out, you can always fry it and it will probably be good.